never have I been so excited to see Hal Harvey. Now Hal, I got a technical question. Am I 2 hours early or are you 2 hours late?
Well, I'm right on time, so did you allow for the Eastern States time difference?
Small technical hitch. Now this is Hal Harvey, Blue Water Tackle World Group in Perth. You've got a heap of stores, haven't you, mate?
Yeah, 4 stores in Perth.
He's got it pretty well covered, and he's the man in Western Australia, and that is where we now stand. Now, for people around the globe to understand the enormity of Australia, this trip started with a 1.5 hour journey to the airport. I then flew 2,700 kilometres to Perth. I got on a bus, thanks for that by the way, 14 hours north, and I believe our journey has not yet finished.
Just started. We're at the corner of the highway and the road into Shark Bay, and we're about to turn into Shark Bay.
Now, I've read some pretty amazing history about Shark Bay, more on that later, but I heard the fishing there is just 11 out of 10.
It has been said to be the best land-based game fishing in the world, and certainly some of the best for a variety of species.
Well, I'm looking forward to this trip. We've got the yocker, you got all the food, the drinks, everything's under control?
I thought you were bringing that.
Next problem, let's get my gear and get in this thing. It's going to be a long road trip. Hal, I still reckon you were late, mate. Now Hal, one more point of confusion. You said we're fishing land-based, yet I see a boat.
Oh, yes, that's because I'm going into Shark Bay again in a little while on another trip, and I'll be bringing the family up and we'll be playing boats, but this time, no boat.
Under that big cover, an E-Tech?
Of course.
How big?
130.
Nice. Let's go. I was a bit confused for a second there. I was wondering how we're going to launch it from the rocks. Oh, I tell you what, Hal, that is one large step.
Yeah, it's a big bus.
I felt a little like Neil Armstrong as I took that one large step for mankind. One of the world's greatest wilderness treasures, the Shark Bay World Heritage Area, sits on the edge of the Australian continent, covering an area of more than 2.2 million hectares. It is where the far western coast of Australia meets the sea, but we've got a few hours driving to do before we see water. There's an old saying in fishing, do the miles, get the smiles. Based on the amount of travel we've done so far this trip, tomorrow I'll have a smile that is literally ear to ear. The closer we get to our destination, the worse the corrugations in the road are actually getting. We've dropped down to nearly 45 kilometres an hour, which is not very quick. And it looks like we'll be setting up camp in the dark. Correction, it looks like Hal will be setting up camp in the dark.
Okay, we're about to head off into the four-wheel driving serious part of it, soft track. When we left the bitumen back there, we dropped the tyres from highway pressure around 45-50 down to 35 for the sand track, stops things from vibrating to bits on the corrugations. Now we're going to drop them down to 20 so that we don't tear up the soft track and we get some traction to tow the boat over the sandhills. We use tyre deflators like so. Other thing we do is fold the rear vision mirrors in. I smashed them on the first 2 trips because the track can get a bit narrow. Given up on that plan now, we just fold them in.
Finally we spot some water, and I'm pretty keen to wet a line, so we still have some serious Ks to do over some rugged country. Keep going, keep going. Okay, stop. Stop. Keep coming like that and slowly straighten up a B's. Almost there. 2 more tasks to complete, Hal. First we get rid of your boat.
Gone.
And the second task?
Set up camp in the middle of the night.
Sounds like fun. I actually now feel like I left home about 6 weeks ago.
A little more to come.
It's going to be fun in the dark. Shark Bay was inscribed on the World Heritage List in December 1991 and was nominated on the basis of its natural values. About 70% of Shark Bay World Heritage Area is marine. Ta-da! Through the magic of television. Let me just say, Hal, I think I did a pretty good job setting up that tent.
Yeah, thanks very much, Paul. That was great help.
Always fun at midnight in the dark with no instructions.
Let's go fishing.
Hemmed by Dirk Hartog, Bernier and Dorey Islands, the sheltered waters average only 9 metres in depth and are beautifully patterned with seagrass meadows, channels and banks. They are fringed by tidal flats, mangrove communities or whiteshell beaches that sweep some 60 kilometres up the coast. Check out the size of that turtle, mate.
He's coming this way.
Look at it.
What lure are you using, Paul?
A 120mm slider. Stick bait. Just thinking nice early morning. Seen a few fish busting up. And I just reckon this is one of my favourite lures of all time now. You've got a deep diving minnow on?
Yeah, just a deep running minnow. They stay in the water well right to the base of the rocks.
Yep.
Which is a good thing. Sometimes get yellowtail kings come up right at your feet, swoop them.
Okay.
Don't often get them back though, that's the only problem.
So is this actual rock structure called Steep Point?
Yeah, we're fishing the lowest part of it.
Yep.
It gets higher as you go around to the left. And to be correct, the true steep point is a bit further to the left again.
Yep.
But this low part here is called the fault line. The big crack that you stepped over back there is the fault line.
Yep.
The other end of the platform where it's a bit higher is called the oven. And then Steep Point proper, which is the westernmost point of mainland Australia, is a bit further to the left again.
Look at that, Hal, massive whale. You can actually see the blowhole. Wow. Just a little bit more geography. You may notice that landmass out there, and you would think that that's just Australia curving back on itself, but it's actually Dirk Hartog Island, named after the famous Dutch explorer Dirk Hartog. He sailed from Amsterdam and took 10 months to get here and actually found Australia in 1616 by mistake. A nice little gruesome life memento of his visit, Dirk Hartog Island.
What we'll do, Paul, seeing as we've got the place to ourselves, is move 50 metres at a time, hop to the left, see if we can find some fish. All quiet here right now, but could be different 200 metres further down the rocks.
Sounds good, mate. Let us move. Very exciting times. We've moved 50 metres up the rocks. About the third cast, Hal and I were talking about old fishing stories and I got absolutely slammed. And unfortunately, because of the angle, we're about 15 metres off the water here, I reckon. He struck and I lifted the lure right out of his mouth. Then I was just winding it back into the edge and he come and hit it again. I have no idea what he was, but my slider has 2 very large puncture marks in the back of it, so something with teeth. A little bit of excitement though, it's all good. Well, if you're like me, you've been following MasterChef on the 10 Network. What a fantastic show. Now, the crew have thrown me a little challenge this morning. They said, Paul, you're in charge, and here's your mystery box. Here it is, the IFISH mystery box. I opened it up, and I saw cheese, ham, and bread. Now, I thought to myself, I want to do something pretty special. I don't want to go down the normal route, so then I come up with it. And here it is, the ham, cheese, toasty. Now, the key to this, and the thing I'm most worried about, is it's not cooked correctly. So I just push there, oh, and it feels just mint. The other one, the cheese is coming out the side. I reckon it's perfect. And watch this, I've been testing the skills. Hey! I think I'm ready.
The fly is a nice touch. You know what? I've had better. I think I might just eat the garnish. It's saltbush, it's going to be better.
I just had a fish all over my lure then, he hit it like 3 times. Hal had a massive fish on his very first cast. We've come a long way. This is the place Hal said we should be. And there are fish here, it's gonna be good enough to catch them. What a backdrop, how good's this joint? I just cannot believe this. I've had my chances this morning off the rocks and then down here at the beach. Monstrous tailor, the biggest tailor I've ever seen in my life, and I couldn't keep a hook in him. But that's fishing. But good news, tomorrow I've got another plan, and it's a good one.
Paul, I'll be the first to admit that the mackerel and tuna fishing off Steep Point hasn't been as good as we would like. But one of the great things about Shark Bay is that there are always options, and those options are usually pretty good.
Well, my appetite was whet by those monster tailor in the surf that I wasn't good enough to hook. You reckon this spot produces a pretty good tailor too?
Yeah, what we've done is we've come about 5k back inside Steep Point, so we're actually inside Shark Bay. The easterly blows off the land back in here, but we've got this great range of bays, little rocky headlands, reef edges. We can just walk along, wade the shallows, cast lures, hop, slide, and we'll get tailor along the way.
Nice. Well, speaking of wind, you might notice there's a little zephyr blowing, but you tell me, Hal, it'll probably sort of peak about midday and then totally disappear.
Yeah, that's a West Australian thing. Easterly in the morning, glass off in the middle of the day, sea breeze in the afternoon.
And then there's the Fremantle Doctor. Did you get the Fremantle Doctor here?
That's the sea breeze.
Well, there you go. I saw that on the cricket. Let's go catch a fish.
Beautiful shoppers. There's a strike. That's nice.
Mate, that was just insane.
Beautiful.
Oh, there's the tail on it. You actually saw this fish, Hal?
Yep.
Did he have mates with him?
4 or 5 others with him, but they often swim around in little schools through Shark Bay's bays.
Oh, and how's the size of it?
Not that big for a Shark Bay tailor, but pretty nice for the plate if we were to keep him. I guess we won't though.
No way, just look at him. Mate, he's a monstrous tailor. Oh!
He's off.
Harvey, have you ever considered taking up golf?
Gotta catch another one.
How awesome is that fish? As you can see from those amazing shots of those massive tailor hitting that pink lure, there's some very, very big fish here. Now I'm going to go for a green lure because I think they got a bit sick of the pink one. Hopefully I can get them very excited about my little Yozuri. Come here! Oh, that is just insane! Oh! Oh! Oh, and the rest of the school's still swimming with him. Look at that! He's got all his mates on his back. And I could be in a bit of trouble here because he's almost totally swallowed my 3D minnow. Come here, mate. Come to me. I've only got 60-pound leader. I'm gonna try and get him in quick. His mate's still sitting with him. Look at this. Oh, I'm worried. Come on, mate. Come on. Oh, I want to get him up. I haven't got... That'd be great if you could, Hal. I haven't got wire on. And he's totally swallowed this lure. And after the luck we've had, I'm scared. I'm scared it's gonna pull him in that last bit. Come on, mate. Come on.
He's got your lure outside the mouth a bit.
He has now.
I've got pliers here.
Oh, he's free. Oh no! You know what? There's the pliers. We still haven't literally landed the monster. How big is that tailor, Hal?
It was a good 80 centimetres, I reckon.
Kilos?
Oh, 4 or 5. A genuine double figure old 10-pound tailor.
And how's the big fish swimming with him? That is the biggest tailor I've ever hooked in my life. It was 60-pound mono. What's the theory behind that, Hal? Mono, you get more bites, but you lose a few?
Yeah, but I prefer using a little less terminal tackle, hooking a few more fish.
Wow-wee, it's taken a while, but the climax has almost happened. I'm gonna feel my heart race.
I'm going to go and catch one, all right?
I'm gonna go get myself another lure. On?
That's a solid fish.
That is a big fish. Now, there should be one with him, shouldn't there?
Oh, that's a heavy drag too. I think I've still got it on the rocks drag.
Oh, how's the tail on it? That's a big fish, Hal. And how's fishing? We have a saying when we go filming on the road, from zero to hero in literally seconds. And Hal, last night I have to say you were a zero, but you're slowly looking like you're wearing red underpants and a blue cape. Because you're my hero. Look at this. Oh. They're excitable fish, these big tailor, aren't they?
I get pretty excited.
Now,
I'm probably more excited than I sound.
did the early explorers call this place Shark Bay because it was full of sharks?
Yes, they did.
Or was it because those things look like sharks when they come out of the water?
I just hope he doesn't get taken by a shark, given that we're standing up to our knees in the same water.
Yes, that would not be a good look. Now, Hal, if you whiz him around my way, I'll do my best to lose him for you, okay?
Oh, yeah. I can handle that.
This must be a big fish because you've got extreme drag on him and he's not giving up, is he? Oh, what a fish, Hal. I just can't believe this. You said come to Shark Bay. Oh. Now just watch our fingers and toes because these things have some serious dentures on them, don't they, mate?
Yeah.
What is that even?
Not the fish to do a jaw grip with.
No, come here, mate. There we go. There we go. Holy snapping deck chairs. Come here, come here. Oh, Hal Harvey. I'm sorry I'm going to show you my back, Hal. Just give me some line because I want to show the people at home the reason we come to Western Australia, and that is it. And let me just say, I've been around a bit. That is the biggest tailor I've ever seen in my life. Hal, get the red underwear out, mate, because you are Superman.
All right, happy with that.
Is that a big tailor for Shark Bay?
That is a big tailor in anybody's books, but there are bigger tailor here.
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, this is a 10. And kids, if you want to learn something from our fishing experience, in life, never ever give up. Because yesterday, I could have taken up golf, but we persisted, didn't we, mate?
Yep, paid off.
And today, fishing is the greatest sport in the world. Well, Hal, the only thing left to do, I think, is release this incredible fish.
Yep.
If you can do me a favour and just pull that hook out of his snoz.
Marvellous, so that should come out real easy.
I just can't believe this is actually a tailor. If I saw it from a distance, I'd think it was a kingfish or a massive Australian salmon. You said oh, there we go. Because that is just wrong. How's the shoulders on it? And this is not ridiculous for you, Hal. This is a fish that you guys get quite regularly.
Yeah, if you go and target them, you catch them in Shark Bay.
Look at that. Well, I've got one thing to say. Hal, I've got a bit of news for you. Last night, the crew were doubting you immensely, but me, I was just singing your praises, saying, boys, let's stick with him. I believe Harvey's a winner.
Cheers.
Now, Hal, you promised me fish, and you also said there'd be no wind. What's going on?
I wouldn't have said there's no wind. You can try that again, Paul.
So why do big tailor get nervous, Hal? It's just the conditions?
Yeah, just the environment. They're not like that in the surf.
Yeah.
It's these sheltered, calm bays that they get really spooky, and when you get them in the surf, they just hammer anything.
Yes, gotcha!
Spooky stuff.
Oh, gee, just hit that, Hal. What have we got? It's just a little fish.
What have you got?
Oh, it's a tailor, is it?
Oh yeah.
I thought it was a shark for a second. Now,
Little greenback.
I reckon this fish Hal must have known there's Victorian here, because this is almost a Victorian
Swam all
tail.
the way from Victoria for you.
And didn't he just hit it too? And I did what you said, because as Hal was saying, these fish can get a bit spooked in these little inlets. So I did what Hal said, I actually used the slider instead of as a surface lure, I just used it subsurface. And that is the benefit of these lures, isn't it, mate? You can get them to do a bit of anything. Have you been picking up fish long, Hal?
Now, if I was a Victorian, I'd probably be proud of that, Taylor.
I am a Victorian, and I'm proud. You know what? I'm going to put that on Facebook, and everyone in Victoria is going to think I'm a legend.
Stop, 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 stop.
Stop, and through the legs, and back through the legs, and there he goes. There's still some fish here.
That's a quick release.
That is a very quick release. The old slider. And remember, if the fish aren't coming up and smashing them, get them subsurface. I like that call, Mr. Harvey.
All right,
I think I've got a few more casts in me.
How we going, Paul?
Bloody hell!
It's an interesting way to catch fish, Paul.
Look, just something a little bit different. How beautiful is that fish? And you'll see the shovel-nosed ray, Hal, obviously sits on the bottom, and he's waiting for mullet to swim past.
He's probably waiting to bite my hand.
You'll be right.
Bite my head.
Basically what they do, they lay on the bottom, and they wait for mullet to swim past in the shallows. We have 3 or 4 here, and he's basically laying an ambush. And I reckon as he...
I think he got ambushed.
He did. I reckon as he heard my feet come up behind him, he probably thought, hang on a sec, here's a free feed. Well, that is a mighty creature, isn't it? You know what I say? Fishing is a wonderful vehicle. How excited would your boy Jack be, or my boy Jet, to see a fish like this?
Yeah, that's a pretty exciting fish.
There you go. I do like owner hooks. I love Optia hooks, but these are my new hooks. They grabbed this little beaut. That's pretty cool.
Shall we let him go?
Yeah, let's let him go. Your turn, what do you reckon?
You've got the gloves, mate. Off you go.
You do, look at that. Well, Hal, I think it's time to set this bloke free. You know what? I'm tipping he's not that smart. I reckon he's just going to sit right here. Hell, he likes you. Isn't that a beautiful thing?
All right, let's...
I think he likes us.
Tailor again.
Oh, look at him. Well, the crew just yelled, one last cast, boys, because we're running out of light. That's a nice fish, mate. And we just can't help ourselves, Harvey and me. We look at each other like little schoolgirls. We just love it, we need to do it more. It's been a long old day, hasn't it, Hal? Oh! And Hal, the reason I just wanted to keep casting is because the fish I dropped just a few minutes ago was such a beast that I think it's got me hooked on tailor fishing forever. Because this, oh, come here, I haven't got him properly. This is what I call serious tailor fishing, isn't it great?
Oh, they are beautiful fish. Actually, I'm going to slip that lure out while you've got it right there.
Yep.
Oh, neatly hooked in the bottom jaw.
That's the beauty of singles. And Mr. Taylor just gets some oxygen through his gills. Thank you for coming to our party. Well, what's for dinner tonight, catering officer?
Porterhouse steak.
Yum! This guy's going back.
See you, mate.
Thank you for coming to our party, mister. Look at that. Well, Hal, thanks you
mate.
so much. What an amazing place, and you know what?
I think I'll go and cut up some onions.
I was going to say time for one more cast.
Oh.
It's not just the onions making me cry, it's that Harvey's catching all the fish. Well, Hal, I can hardly believe that it was 48 hours ago we stood in front of the Ocker with dreams of massive Western Australian tailor in our mind.
And we did it. We achieved it.
We did, and what a journey it's been. We've just done it all. We fished the rocks, we fished the beaches, and we've tried and tried. Things weren't going our way, but today, when I held that massive fish of yours and I saw how big tailor grow, it just blew my mind.
Well, Shark Bay is the home of big tailor for Australia.
It is just...
And we proved it.
Out of control. So if you ever get the chance, Steep Point, Shark Bay, get in an Ocker, get in any vehicle and get your backside here because it is 11 out of 10. Come camping with the family, it's the way to go, isn't it?
Yep, absolutely enjoyable and fish of a lifetime.
Well, Hal Harvey, I love your work. I've just got 3 words to say to you, mate. Porterhouse, medium rare.
And you don't like cooked onions?
I don't do cooked onions, but I do steak.
Strange man.
Barbecue's this way, mate.
We're off.